Well, two more motors gone. So in that one there for $250, this one here for $150. That one there looks almost brand new. But both of those are going, and I'm going to spend the money to buy a Sears tractor to put my last 10 horse on it. So anyway, these two are gone. They should have nothing wrong with them. I'm not going to bother sparking them up. You can see this one here looks shiny and new. So this one here is a little bit dirty, but I'm not going to bother firing them up because there's no gas tank. I'd have to prime the system and all that other crap. But those two are gone. Well, motors are gone, and I got myself two chainsaws here to play with in trade. Plus, made myself enough money to buy the Sears tractor, which I'm going to be picking up on Friday, no, probably Saturday night. So I'll be installing a diesel engine on that Sears. So yeah, got myself some chainsaws to play with too. So that doesn't work out too bad. That's an MS200, and that one there is a steel knockoff. It's a China saw, 5200. Oh no, chainsaw. Well, and it looks like I'm never going to have a weekend that it's not frickin' raining and hailing. A little bit of hail popping down there. It's just small stuff right now. But yeah, it's just frickin' nuts. Oh, actually, I take that back. There's some bigger stuff hitting. And I'm getting soaked, so that's it. Well, it's Saturday morning. Not a hell of a lot going on. Did a little bit more work on the pressure washer. Adapted it so I can use my other hose on it. That actually works. Put a 90 in there. Picked up some oil to do an oil change on the pump, but haven't done it yet. So same brand as the pump, so I guess that pump is a decent brand, maybe. Anyway, just poured rain like a son of a you know what, and at least the water's gone. There was like the quad was sitting in 4 inches of water yesterday. So, or maybe not 4 inches, like 3 inches, just over top those boards there. Anyway, this tractor here, seeing I'm going to be doing some work on it over the winter. I'm thinking of doing a lot of work on it. I'm actually going to go pick up another one. So I found one without a motor for cheaper than a YouTube check. So what I'm going to do is toss a diesel motor on it, move the plow over to that one, and use that one for the winter. And I might add, it's the same guy that I got my plow from. So it's about 1 hour outside the city, so it's not too bad. Seems to me last time we were there, it was pouring rain right when we got there. And by the looks of it today, probably be doing the same thing again today. So anyway, I'll make an update once I get back. Well, here she is, a little bit rougher than my other one, of course, but it's exactly what I was looking for. No motor, but of course I'm putting a diesel, so I didn't need the motor. Hard to say really on the shape of the whole entire machine because I haven't really looked over it yet. Of course, this one's a roper, and it has the famous crack on the front hood there where it's been joined back together. Like every other model pretty much you'll ever see.
Your dash isn't terrible other than the other
this side here on the dash looks good, but the other side is cracked.
You could fix it. Fiberglass.
Yeah. The rims, everything. It doesn't seem to be that bad. Of course the tires are dry rotted, but I'm not going to be using those. You can see the corner of this dash here. The corner's broken out of it. It has the foot pedal I need, and it has that piece that I need right there to put on my other one. So anyway, next thing to do now is install one of those diesel motors. So I was thinking I do got that the 20 horsepower V-twin, hey buddy? 20 horsepower V-twin. But
I can put something together already and race.
Yeah, I guess I should, hey? And of course when I was there, I ended up seeing this and picked this up. So needs a little bit of work. Pretty sure I snapped the intake on it right there, loaded it onto the truck because we had to throw it over the side. A little bit bulky, but it's just a Carter carb on it or whatever it was, so I can dig through my hoard pile. I'm sure of it that I got spare carbs. If not, I can retrofit almost any kind of carb onto it. So
fuel pump, eh?
yeah, it has a mechanical fuel pump and the fuel bowl there, and yeah, it's a pretty sweet unit. So anyway, don't know what I'll be doing with this, but it did have an ID tag somewhere on it here. Oh, right there. Well, you farted, buddy. You ripped ass. It stinks.
I know.
So, 8.7 amps, 1,000 watts. So, yeah, that's not too bad. So, cast iron, super heavy, super heavy. So anyway, give me some stuff to play with for the next week or two. Generators in the shed here. Probably sit for quite some time before I do anything. So anyway, right there's the 10 horse. That is going to be going on that tractor right there. And the reason why I picked up that one and didn't use this one is, believe it or not, this one here is still in very nice shape. It'd be kind of a shame to ruin it, because it actually runs pretty good. The only thing it really needs is a new dash, and the one on that one's not any better. Haven't actually had it running now in a long ass time, as in probably over, well, the last time it was running when we moved the shed. Anyway, yeah, that's the shape of this one. Drives, everything works fine, but this plow here is going to be going on that one, and I'm going to be probably putting the snowblower back on here, and have both of them ready for winter kind of thing. This one's Sears, that one's a Roper, but they're the exact same thing. There's really nothing that's really different on it. So anyway, don't know what else really to say about this one yet. So don't exactly want to put a diesel on this one, because in my opinion it's in way too good of shape. So anyway, I guess I'll start tearing into that one and get ready to install the engine. Rabbit's starting to get pretty big. Okay, so she's in the garage here. Still kind of thinking of the idea, instead of using a 10, to use a 6 right there, because I got two 6s that are guaranteed good. The reason why I'm thinking of a smaller motor is driving it around will put more strain on the motor, which means more black smoke, and make it labor a bit more, because to be honest, the 10 horse has way too much power for just plowing snow. Even the little 4 horse would most likely be fine. So anyway, guess I'm going to take off the hood and see how this fits. I know they fit because I did a little searching on YouTube. There's about 10 people that have diesel Sears Suburbans or Roper tractors. So yeah, some people going back even 5 years back. So yeah, but not too sure yet if I'm going to cut out the hood like you've seen a few other people. I cut out the hood to clear the air breather. I might do kind of a cold air style intake, because this hood actually is in pretty decent shape. So in my opinion, it'd be kind of a shame to cut it up. Actually, the whole tractor is in good shape. The only real problems is, of course, the dash is cracked, which happens on almost all these. And the hood is broken right there. So, which is not too big of a deal. Lots of spider webs and stuff in there. And same as my other one, cracked right here, which again, that's perfectly normal. Almost all of the Sears tractors do that. Anyway, first thing that has to be done is this has to be taken out if I want to run the stock exhaust, which I don't know if I do or not yet. Yeah, I'm not too sure. If I want to run the stock exhaust, I got to remove all of this brackets. And if I want to run the stock exhaust, yeah, I don't really know if I want to do that or not. Just kind of looking up here how it's going to fit. You can see it's not even touching right now. Just sitting on the exhaust port there. So, anyway, a little bit more tweaking and I'll have an idea how I want to do it. Well, anyway, I am just mocking up the motor placement and seeing how much room I have. So, I'll have enough room. You can see the fuel tank. I can fit my finger in between the hood and the fuel tank all the way around. As for the air intake, I'll have roughly maybe looks like about 2 inches of clearance to make my intake pipe go around the corner. If I don't do that, the only other option is to cut this right out here. But I don't want to do that because I think that kind of looks cheesy. If I'm going to do anything like that, I'm going to freaking cut it out and put it like a shaker hood style thing on the top of it. So, mind you, that'd only be good if I rubber mounted the engine. But anyway, kind of get a better shot here. I took off the air box here and the exhaust. Just to kind of see some clearance issues that I might have. So, anyway, you can see back there, there's plenty of clearance all the way around. All the way at the top. I don't know if I'll be able to show this, but yeah, you can see on top of the gas tank there, I got like 3 inches of clearance. Top of the motor there, I got above the compression release, I got about 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, well, finger length. So that doesn't really matter because it doesn't do anything from, that pretty much does nothing, only does something at the end here. Top of the gas tank here, I got, oh yeah, lots of clearance up there. Front of the motor, tons of clearance. So anyway, that's pretty much where it's going to sit. I think I'm going to take the roper sticker off it. That way it just, you know, doesn't have it. Not too big of a fan of ropers. I know that might piss off a few people, but this like entire machine is virtually the same as the Sears. Anyway, the hood is just lightly placed on top here. Nothing's bolted down. Nothing's bolted down. You can see I just got the plates sitting up there. I'm going to have to drill a hole either to drain the oil or connect a 90, like connect some pipe threads and pipe it around the corner so I can drain the oil without draining it right over top of the whole frame. As for the fuel tank, I'm kind of thinking the idea I might still use the original fuel tank at the back. Not too sure yet. I'll pop off the hood real quick to show you what it looks like underneath. And there's just a quick shot what it looks like without the hood. One thing I noticed that I might have issues with because I got big feet is I might end up hitting the recoil. So I might end up having to pull off that recoil. The other option is to shorten up the clutch. Or, of course, mount an automatic clutch. So, torque converter even. So, but then for plowing, that probably would not end up being the best thing, because if I'm going to be plowing, I'd like to plow at almost an idle. So, it all depends what I'm plowing. So, if I want to do some plowing at 1500 RPM, that's right when the clutch would be engaging, so it wouldn't really work. So, I'll probably just stick with the standard belt setup. And one more quick shot of it. Man, that's actually going to look pretty well at home in this frame. Still thinking the idea of putting turbo on it, but man, I can't find, like, that's going to cost me a lot more money than I paid for the motor to put in the turbo, or more than I paid for the tractor. So this recoil here, I got to flip it around so I have to pull on this side. Wouldn't try starting it with my left hand sitting on it, but if I get off it, I could pull it this way instead of trying to start it in front of the tractor, which is all good until you find out you left the tractor in gear and it runs you over, I guess. But so before I actually go ahead with, I'm going to mount the motor, bolt it up and everything, but before I go ahead with actually trying to drive it or anything, I'm going to take my wet sandblaster, which is still sitting there. It's not a wet sandblaster right now, it's just a sandblaster, or just a pressure washer. I modified it to fit a different hose. Not sure if that's showing up there, but I kind of tweaked some stuff in there. But so I'm using my old hose, which already takes the quick release ends, which means the wet sandblaster will just freaking fit right on it. And I'm going to sandblast the entire frame of the tractor, and don't know what color I'm going to paint it yet. I'm just thinking of just flat black. So maybe flat black, and I'll keep the hood white, and maybe I'll keep the fenders white, but I might paint them black too. And as for the Snapper racing tractor, yeah, it's still sitting here. Haven't done anything to it. So, started bolting down the motor, but that's pretty much the way it sits. So, be a lot easier to fit that Briggs V-twin in this thing, that's for sure. A little bit of clearance issue here, but it's going to fit. And for the hell of it, I did try it. That 6-horse motor fits pretty much perfectly. So if I wanted to use a 6-horse, but I'm going to stick with this guy just because it's quite a bit bigger. Okay, so I was starting to work on the diesel tractor, but then my buddy decided to, well, insulate his garage so he could start working on more tractor projects during the winter, right? So
It's the idea. Tractors, quads, something might need a new bore and piston eventually.
yeah, on the Warrior,
The XL over there, that needs a crank and possibly piston.
the old 74.
The XR250, I don't know. I might just slap it together good enough to sell. I haven't taken it for a ride yet.
And you're going to be mounting yourself a 4-horsepower diesel on this snowblower maybe for the winter.
Not a fucking chance. How would I start it? I'd have to fucking plug it in.
That's fine, buddy.
No.
I know.
This thing's awesome, man. All you gotta do is pull that fucking choke, and she starts in 2 pulls.
Yeah. But anyway, we're meant to be doing work on here, but we've been sitting around for 2 hours because you have to bring out the beers.
I
So,
got a bit done. We got the vapor barrier out.
yeah, I guess.
I gotta do my video though. I'm gonna get
Okay, yeah, sure.
So here's a bit of a shop update. I haven't done one of these in a while. Obviously you saw Curtis's video. I have the tractor running, driving, had it out for a romp. And he still doesn't have anything fucking built that can
Hey.
race it.
Hey,
So technically,
hey,
any race I challenge you to, I've already won.
hey, I started working on that diesel tractor today,
You've
buddy.
got 5 fucking projects on the go and none of them are even near completion. Get going on something.
Yeah, but I don't see you with anything going.
All these are gone. So anyways, it looks like a fucking horde in here right now because everything's just disorganized and against, well, it's away from the wall so that I can insulate it. We're going R12 in the walls and in the ceiling because
Cheap.
5-year plan, yeah, well, it's the cheapest option. And 5-year plan is this garage gets demolished and I build a bigger, better shop in behind it. Take that one down and probably go within 4 feet of this. Don't want to take the big tree down.
Why not?
Move the fire pit over a little bit.
It's not that big. Buddy, that would heat your shop for 2 years.
So, yeah, it took me one wall. It took me, I don't know, what time did I text you that I was doing this?
3 or 2 o'clock.
So, what is it right now? 4 o'clock? 2 hours?
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Took me 2 hours. No, it would have been sooner than that because it was 3:30 is when he said to come by. So I picked it up, yeah, well, 3 o'clock till what is it now?
Let's say 4:30.
Okay, it's 4:30-ish. Just after 4:30. So an hour and a half, 2 hours-ish to insulate and vapor barrier this one wall. And this took one bag and just a portion of the next. So I think next is I'm going to start on the back. I'm going to have to take all the stuff off the shelf. I'm going to have to move all this stuff against the wall again. I got to do some organization. I got to throw some of this stuff outside because this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is, yeah, it's getting too much.
And a
Take
motorbike
that
frame.
fucking frame
Yeah,
over.
I was gonna say a frame I could throw a diesel motor in. It already has the brackets for some kind of home built motor.
Take it home, please.
Cut it and then maybe I can make a trike out of it. I don't know.
I'll give it to you. Could you please take it home?
I'll see, buddy. I'll see.
I want to get rid of this shit.
I'll see. Okay, so one more thing I thought I might as well mention. What size pulley do you guys think I should go on it? So I'm thinking of going about a 6-inch. So it should be able to do about, well, let's see here. First gear is all I care about. First gear and low, it should do 0.8. And that's at 3,400 RPM, I think they rate that. So if I set it to a 6-inch, 6-inch, it should, yeah. I don't even know what size the factory is. I don't know if it's a 3-inch the factory or if it's smaller than that. But I'd like it to do probably about 2 miles per hour in low gear. And the top speed they rate this thing at is 6.3, so 10 kilometers an hour. So if I set it up to do about 20 kilometers an hour, which is about, I guess, 12 miles per hour, let's say, that wouldn't be too bad. So yeah, I'll probably end up doubling whatever the pulley size is. I'll double it. Again, I got the Sears sitting outside, the Sears Suburban 16. I'll just go measure the pulley and just go double that. So because again, if I'm going to be plowing, I'm only going to have the throttle maybe just above idle, probably at about 1500 RPM. Let's say I'll be plowing. So which at 1500 RPM I should be able to plow pretty much anything. I'll lose traction with the wheels before anything, and should go a fairly decent speed. What's good about this machine is it has low range, which is that knob on the side right there. So low range, so it gives me the ability to drop it in low, which should make up for the pulley swap, because a lot of people plow with tractors that don't have low range. So anyway, again, I already said this a few times, but I'll get back to you guys next week, and by then I should have the motor bolted up and hopefully hooked up. So sweet.